Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. The meeting will be starting shortly. While we wait, let's learn more about Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
go down the agenda, and we should be relatively quick tonight. So introductions, to my left is the Vice Chair, Darius Thompson. To my right, Member Dave Short. I'm Dwayne Staples, the Chairman, and the Select Board Rep tonight is Nico Papakonstantis.
Wow.
Thank you. Been practicing.
Very good.
Public comment. We have no public at the time at the moment. So we'll move right down to approving the meeting minutes. We need to approve the meeting minutes of June. I sent those out. Does anybody note any errors or omissions?
Nope, none.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes of June 22nd.
Oh, second.
All those in favor?
Second.
All those
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so the June 22nd minutes have been approved. I also sent the draft minutes of the sidewalk meeting on July 20th. Darius and I were present. Darius, did you note any errors or omissions in that?
None, no.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of July 20th.
A second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We will accept those minutes as written. The next item on the agenda is the planting along the fence behind the Harris Center. I don't know if you had a chance to actually read these. We did go over. Darius and I talked about that on the 20th. And I know we talked about it in June. We would like to do a little bit more than what we had discussed in June. I think there's 5 stumps and 3 bushes that we'd like to take out to clear that entire area to do the planting. And then there is 1 stump beside the sidewalk that tree has been cut for a while. The roots go under it. Our feeling is, though, that we should pull that stump and fix that sidewalk at the same time while we're in there.
Is it heaving? I don't remember.
It is heaved a little bit, yes. It does go through the gate and the fence there, and it connects to a sidewalk that goes out to the Academy parking lot. We talked about just cutting it at the gate, and it's probably about 25 feet long. It's 3 feet wide. There was a question about if it needs to be ADA required, but where it goes out into the Academy parking lot, it's not ADA approved coming off of that parking lot.
Well, I would say it's grandfathered anyways. It's been there forever.
Right. So I instead of making a motion to do anything, I wanted to wait till all 3 of us were present.
I talked to Jay, and he said he's willing to take the stumps out. That's not a big deal. And even that stump going on, I got to look at that closer going under the sidewalk. You don't think there's a way of digging that without disrupting the sidewalk?
Mm-hmm. No.
How close is it?
It's like maybe a foot off of the pavement.
The stump itself.
The stump itself.
So there's not enough room to get in there and cut the roots.
No, and the roots actually go under the sidewalk. It's heaved a little bit.
Because if there was like this much space, you could get a backhoe in there and break the roots.
Right.
But if it's that close,
it's relatively close. And again, what Darius and I talked about was, if we're going to do that entire stretch, while we're there, we should just fix that.
Is that sidewalk even necessary?
Well, there's a gate there.
Well,
and that brings in a question that I have. When's the last time the parkway has been surveyed to see where the property lines are, the pins are? And is that gate on, was that gate part of the parkway, or was that gate put in there? We don't know.
Well, I mean, the gate's been there as long as I can remember.
The academy probably has a survey of their property, which would then show what you're talking about.
Right.
And it's probably fairly recent because within, the last 10, 15 years or so is when they purchased that property. I believe Charlie Tucker's old building.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the question always comes up is whose fence is it? Mm-hmm. And I've talked with some people at the academy. They think it's their fence. I want to say that I remember when Doug Dicey was chair of the Parkway that the Parkway replaced that fence. So I'm thinking it's the Parkway's fence. But that's, your question was, is the sidewalk still relevant? I think that people do park there and come in to the farmer's market and some of the other events.
Yep.
So there is a double gate there. The sidewalk is only as wide as one gate. Mm-hmm. So I would say, yeah, I think we should keep the sidewalk there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not opposed either way. I was just asking the question.
Yeah, no. So maybe we can ask Jay, who would he recommend to do the sidewalk? I don't know if the highway department would have enough
They actually
time to do that.
last year they were doing some of their own paving work up on Summer. So I know they will do minor paving.
Yeah, you're talking a walkway that's no bigger than this desk. It's no wider than this, and it's probably this long.
It's probably a wheelbarrow to a hot top.
Yeah, it's not, but it's enough to where.
I'll bet you he's going to be. I'll bet you he'll be out doing some other projects this year, and it wouldn't be a big deal for him to. And I've got to see him on another matter, anyways. I can ask him the question.
Okay.
Yeah, would you?
Yeah.
Because like I said, when we looked at the stump, and I was all for leaving it there, Dave, until I looked at it, and I thought, we're going to be in here. It has heaved that sidewalk a little bit. Let's fix it all at once while we're there.
Yep.
And then we have to talk about what we want to do for plant material. If you look at the original architect planting for that, there was what you would call native plants in there.
Right.
Arrowwood viburnum, gray dogwood, a couple of other things. So
In terms of anything we put along there, it is that sits adjacent to where the playground is, right? Where the playground, which has a question again, whose fence is it? But anything we put there shouldn't be anything that's so high or grow so high where we keep it at a certain height where no one can hide behind there or whatever, so that it still has the aesthetics that you can at least see through, or that it doesn't become something that grows so big that it becomes.
yeah. Correct, and I would agree with that. We don't put something really
No,
huge there.
but I think you can't go too small either. It looks,
No,
it looks,
right.
I think if something were to max out in the 6 to 8 foot range,
Yep, absolutely.
that's probably the appropriate scale.
And I don't know, how do you feel about planting this fall or waiting till spring?
I feel we need rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because taking care of it, is. Last week, one day, I took a gator bag down on that. If you're going into the Parkway, there's that relatively young maple that's in there.
Yep.
And it was getting really wilty. So I put a bag on it for the day, just to get some moisture to it. So the question will be trying to get water to those plants. But maybe that's something where the academy, because I don't think we have a source of water down there, do we?
No.
they might,
not that close to that.
we should look at their building and see if there would be a place where we could tie into to irrigate.
Or the other question I have, is there something that we could do that might be drought tolerant?
Well, it doesn't matter what you plant, it's initially going to need water to get it established.
Right.
And then eventually you get to the point where you can pretty much neglect it. But that takes a year or two.
Okay.
Yeah,
You agree with that?
yeah, no, I do. I think, when I've gotten calls, I've cautioned people about planting now. Because can they water it? Can they, with the water restrictions, is it a good idea? Yes, there is probably certain plant material that can be planted now, but I would rather err on the side of caution than say, let's get plant material in this fall, and unless we get a couple of tropical storms that come up and move
Well,
through.
I mean,
so-
we could, 2 weeks from now, we could be talking a totally different story,
Right.
and I'm hoping we are. But, and you know what? Even at our next meeting, there's still plenty of planting season left.
Right.
That we can always make that. So I think now what we need to do maybe is go ahead and at least get the area prepped,
Yep.
you think, or?
Yeah, no, I do. Let's move forward. If you would talk to Jay too about the sidewalk and all.
Yeah.
And then just ask him to schedule that, if that's okay. Let's get it prepped. I think there's 3 bushes, 5 stumps. That includes the one by the walkway.
Right.
And if we can get that all squared away and get it ready to plant, then we can pick some plant material and go from there.
It does sound to me, though, based on the briefing we got from the DPW, this water restriction is going to be on for quite a while.
I'm sure.
I remember the last one was, I think, what,
Nico, would you mind? Yeah.
Sorry.
So the update we had from the DPW director, I mean, it appears that the water restriction will be for several months. And I know the last one we had, it was either just last year or the year before, went for,
Yeah.
4 to 6 months. So
Right.
I would expect the same now.
Right.
Okay, so it sounds like a quick little motion to proceed with the removal of the items that we talked about as far as the stump, getting the area prep, checking with DPW to see if they'll be willing to remove the stump and fix
Well,
the sidewalk.
Nico
or-
raises a good point, though, that realistically, even if we start getting rain again, they will need supplemental watering. And I had forgotten all about the length of the last ban. So realistically, there's not going to be any watering able to take place this fall. So I think we should maybe just hold off till spring. Let's not tear anything up until we're closer to the time when we can do it. If it was torn up for 3 or 4 weeks, big deal. If it's torn up for 6 or 7 months, that's a whole different story.
So,
Well, I would at least
what-
like to get the stump on the sidewalk squared away, because that wouldn't require that one stump in the sidewalk fixed.
Well, if he's there, he might as well pull all the stumps, though. Have one dump truck, fill it with stumps, and be done with it.
Because the other stumps are smaller.
Yeah.
That one is, that one's pretty good size, so.
Yep.
And at least that way, the sidewalk will be done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll run it by him.
All right.
Yeah.
so I will amend my motion to proceed with, go ahead and prepping the area, removing the stumps, talking to Jay and see if they'll remove that stump and the small sidewalk.
Yep.
And prep it. We're not going, and no planting due to the water restrictions
Yeah. Until that situation is.
until the situation is rectified for
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah.
This is the motion.
Second.
All right.
All those in favor?
I.
All right.
Aye. Motion passes.
Good discussion.
Alrighty. The next item on the agenda is, I have it listed as dog signage ideas. And again, what we talked about was, we talked about the circle with the line with the dog there, like the Ghostbuster circle, only with the dog. We talked about stenciling the entrances to the parkway, all the entrances, not just the sidewalks, the entrance at Water Street. There would be one on that entrance eventually, the entrance across from Park Street, and the entrance down on the hill there.
Right.
And the entrance coming from Newfields Road for any walkers that are gonna come off of the sidewalk there. We both thought that was a good idea, and Mark Damsel was at that meeting. We talked about signs. I threw out the idea that if this worked, instead of having the printed signs that say no dogs, do the same type of signage with the circle, with the dog, with the line through it. But let's try the stencil first. Mark did move, there's a sign coming off of Water Street that was on the phone pole that said no dogs, but it was really high. He had put that up years ago. He volunteered to lower it, which he has. I have reached out to a local sign company, have not heard back from them about making a stencil, so.
Well, what about, was there any further discussion at the last meeting about what would probably be the most effective step we could take and get the police department to occasionally take a run through there and a citation or two get issued?
We did talk a little bit about that, and
that's going to get the message home, I think, much more effectively, or it'll certainly reinforce any signage we put up. Signage alone isn't going to do it. Word's got to get out that that we're serious about it, and if people are walking with impunity through there and out, all it would take would be one or two, and obviously I'd prefer to start with warnings first, but then if there's any repeats, nail them with a fine, and then word gets out and it'll stop. Or it'll greatly reduce the incidents.
Understood. I'll go counter that to the police department as far as their priority list of things to do. That's going to be low on their list, but I'm sure we can ask them to do what they're supposed to do in support of the park. They're supposed to patrol regularly, but we'll ask, right? Part of their job is, periodically driving every street in town, and that includes the Parkway. I don't know why the reluctance to do it, but it's another town street. Do you have any idea why? I almost never see a patrol car through there.
I mean, I can't speak to, how often they drive down the Parkway or if they do it all, but I agree with Mr. Thompson in discussions with the chief on other things that we've thought about the police. I think that's probably down the list a little bit. But
I'm not saying.
We can talk to him.
I'm not saying position somebody there.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Just,
I can offer to do it if you'd like.
Sure.
I can reach out to.
You're the most authoritative.
I don't know about that, but I could offer to do it.
We also thought too, and Darius and I having a conversation about this, that a lot of this was probably new people that are new to town, that don't realize that. Now, whether they miss the signage, and for me, I think the picture would be a lot more attention grabbing, because people nowadays don't stop and read the words on the signs. You know, was my feeling during that discussion, but let's try, let's see, if you would talk to the chief.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk with them.
The other thing that was discussed is that as a dog owner, I would love to take my dog in the park, any of the parks in town, and I know I cannot. But I also know that when I'm walking with my dog, I'm more looking down than I am looking up. Right? You're always checking on your dog, make sure that you're looking that way, but you're checking. And so by putting the stencils down, it at least help inform to give a visual that says, oh, what? No dogs allowed? Okay. Maybe I shouldn't proceed. And if they proceed, then it's, let's say, maybe a $100 fine if you continue to proceed.
Well,
Yeah.
sounds like Dwayne's pursuing that, just trying to get a response, so.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that the visual would be a great thing to do. I think you need both.
Yep. Right. And enforcement.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Nico. Any more ideas on that? Because I know we've all kind of talked that,
Yeah, I think
tossed that around and all.
you just need to get a response, that's all.
Okay.
Good idea.
Next item was the turf aeration. We talked a little bit about that in July. Again, I've reached out to a couple people. I'm not so worried about them having not gotten back to me because my feeling is with the dryness, we hold off on that. I know we can't.
I don't even know if it'd be possible right
Well,
now.
and that's my feeling too. I'm not so sure that it would be that effective this fall to try and aerate. I think we put that off till the spring.
I think, again, unless we get a lot of rain. Right, an aerator right now would just bounce right off.
Yeah, I have seen some people out trying to do the cores, and it just has not been working.
No.
So, all right. Thank you. We're all in agreement on that. Now we're down to other business. I'll open it up. Dave, Darius,
I have no other business, no.
does anybody know how the National Night Out went? I was not able to attend.
I was not able to attend either, but I did hear that it was a good turnout from Detective Page. And then he also wanted to say thank you. I don't know if he reached out to you or not.
No.
So,
Yeah, I was unable to attend as well, but another select board member attended, and I've heard from other folks it was very well attended. Lots of different age groups were there. It was a beautiful night, and we recognized them during the select board meeting. But again, a huge thank you to the police department, the fire department, and particularly Detective Page, who did an outstanding job. But by all accounts, it was a beautiful night and very well attended. So.
Good.
I also want to say thank you to Buxton for, I believe they provided the water. I want to acknowledge the Buxton family, Donna Buxton personally, for her continued support of the police department and the fire department, also helping out as a valued, involved community member. So thank you.
Great. Okay.
Oh, I have one other thing. And I also want to say a heartfelt thank you to Mr. Mark Damsel for his continued involvement and engagement in support of the Parkway. I don't think there's any other advocate other than us here that has a stronger passion for the Parkway. I just truly respect and appreciate everything that he does for this town, for this park, and I appreciate you, Mark.
So
I think we all echo that sentiment.
I'll second that,
I'm
yes.
surprised he isn't here tonight.
I know.
But I know that, you know what, he doesn't like the heat. He doesn't really like the heat, so he's probably home with a cold drink and sitting by the fan, so. So we're down to the next meeting. That would be September. If we go with our third Wednesday like we usually do, that would be the 21st. Or we can go with the fourth Wednesday, the 28th.
I'm good with either. Darius?
Both work for me.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
The 28th is going to be the budget recommendations.
Oh, okay.
for the new year.
So,
Probably the week before.
21st, so let's say September 21st?
Yep.
And I'll see what room is available. And that brings us to item number 10, adjourn.
That's my motion.
is that your motion? I think we should discuss the motion.
My motion.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion?
There is no discussion.
Adjourn for dinner.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming. Adjourn at 5:50.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.